Most people will admit to wanting more money, but it's important to ask yourself why. What is the point of wealth in the first place? To me, it's related to a bigger question. What's the point of life? After years of hard work and going through law school and securing a job at a top firm, I realised that was no life at all. Big hours, some money, and painfully time poor. It just wasn't worth it. I wasn't living. Not really. And I certainly wasn't happy. So I had to ask myself 5 years ago, what now? What do you want? The answer was simple. I wanted more freedom. Freedom from needing that job to pay my mortgage. Freedom from needing that job at all. Freedom to travel more. Freedom to work where I want when I want. Freedom to read more. Freedom to race and train around the world. Freedom for more time with friends and family. That's what life was meant to be for me.
I would agree with that.
Look, I'm just some guy on YouTube, so listen to some of the wealthiest people in the world say the same thing.
What appealed to you about being rich?
Well, I like to be independent. I want to be able to do what I want to do every day.
I did not intend to get rich. I wanted to get independent. I just overshot. And
That sounds simple enough. Let's just do that.
But the problem was, I didn't want to give up what I had. I didn't want to sell the house, the car, or the motorbikes. I didn't want to sell shares or stop investing for my future. I needed my job for that.
It's a job, it's money.
So what did I do?
It's a good question.
Well, looking back, there were 3 simple things I did. First, as you've surely heard on YouTube, I developed other streams of income. I was already getting dividends, but not enough to live on.
More money?
To diversify my income, I started 2 side hustles 5 years ago, which I still do now, and they combined to make about double the national average income.
I know that sounds like a brag.
And here's the sweetest part. They can be done from anywhere in the world.
That sounds great. Good.
I then use that extra income to honestly have a lot of fun, but also to buy more shares and an investment property to increase my monthly income even further.
Yeah, more money.
Honestly, wealth begets wealth. The more you have in terms of income, the more you're going to be able to invest.
Worked out all the math.
Look, I'm all for saving, but at the end of the day, if you want to invest more money, it's a lot easier if you're making more.
I think that's pretty obvious.
You can save money to a point, but your ceiling for earnings is almost unlimited.
Unlimited possibilities.
The second thing I started doing, well, I got more experience and upskilled as a lawyer.
Gotta study.
This allowed me to leave the big firm and get a job working for a financial institution as a banking lawyer, where I now make twice as much money for literally half the work. And I can do it from all over the place. This year alone, I worked from London and Paris 1 month, from New York and Boston another. I was in Canada and even randomly Vietnam. And I was working the whole time. And I know that doesn't sound like fun to some people, but the reality is, I was getting paid really good money to do something I enjoyed while getting to experience different cultures and parts of the world. Invest in yourself. It's honestly the best investment you can make.
It was the best decision we ever made.
The third thing was to stop caring and start living your life. This point really sits behind the first 2, but you'll be so much happier and you'll make more money probably when you try to do what actually excites you.
That sounds reasonable.
Coming out of law school, I was so genuinely afraid that people would think I was clever.
But not as clever as he thinks he is.
And this fear of what people thought brought out the worst in me. And it definitely didn't make me happy. And it led me to do what was expected of you, what made sense on paper, but they weren't necessarily the things that excited me. Just stop caring. Now, don't stop caring generally. You should care about things in life. You just need to realize what matters and care about that. You'll be better off for it. I honestly think everyone should do these 3 things.
Yeah, you should.
I think they'll help anyone. I think they'll improve the quality of your life. They certainly have for me. And here's why. I'm not an exceptionally clever person, but the above 3 steps have really worked well for me. And the footage that I've been using through this film, well, that's of Nice, France. I haven't been there, but my wife and I figured we'd spend a month working there next year because, well, why not?
Tell him he's dreaming.
Yeah.
I figured I might try to do my first Ironman while I'm there, and we will just get to live there and soak it in for a month. And yes, I'll be working, but come on, we're in our 20s. We won't be inheriting anything.
He's dreaming.
Of course we'll be working, but that's okay. We get to live there for a month, and I'm still able to invest enough for an early retirement.
Life is good.
It's the best of both worlds, because realistically, I can't just stop working and travel.
Wait, so this is reality?
Being an adult is terrible.
Because at the end of the day, life is too short. As the very average film Ticket to Paradise said, why wait for the good stuff?
Is that really how it ends?